So when did we meet?
Well, I knew your girlfriend, co-writer of Source, Abigail, before you. I knew her before you.
Way before me. It's important that you know that my girlfriend Abigail, she
plays the girl that I'm dating in the film.
Yes.
Which she was cool about. So thanks.
I had to. We'll get into that, I'm sure. But yeah, and they've been friends for a long time, right?
Yeah, very long time.
So that's how we met.
Abigail's probably the first actor that I knew. Like, she was, when we were kids, she was doing it, and I was like, oh, how do you do it? And she was like, well, this is how I did it. And I was like, oh, that's how you do it. So she kind of demystified the whole acting thing for me at a very young age. Yeah, it was very insightful.
And I was actually looking for another actor because we actually had cast someone else. You know that, right?
Yeah.
And good, just making sure this wasn't. We had cast someone else, but he couldn't drive, and we needed someone who could drive. And Abby was like, my friend Mickey has a license, and he's a good actor.
Yeah, better actor. Driver's license. It's actually on most applications for roles. Can you drive? Although I've never needed it, other than this film. So. But
then I met him one morning, and I just thought, he's got great charisma, and he was cool and funny, and I liked the energy. So that was it.
Where did we meet though? I don't think we did.
I went National Theatre.
Oh, is it? Mm-hmm. You was in the queue, I remember.
Yeah, yeah. So the story for Source actually has nothing to do with Mickey.
Yeah, nothing.
So you can just sit tight for a minute. Basically, I was on a date with Abigail, and we were kind of in this early stage of our own relationship, trying to figure out where we stand in relation to each other in terms of committing to each other. We were kind of having this conversation. At the same time, we're both kind of writers and directors, and we were both very keen to make something. We had both just seen a really rubbish play, and we were kind of like thinking a lot about what would we want to make or something. So on this date, we kind of said, how about we don't go home until we've written something. Whilst this was happening, we were still having this other conversation about us, and the kind of two ended up meshing, where we were kind of trying to write something. We were literally walking around town, Leicester Square, Soho, just trying to come up with ideas. And then she said, how about polyamory, like as a topic, because she had polyamorous experiences, and I found that really interesting, and we kind of were in that phase where we hadn't really committed to each other yet, and I was like, do you want to commit? And she was thinking the same about me. So we kind of paused the whole story conversation for a sec. We had our own discussion. We decided we're all good. We're happy just to like stick with each other. And then we were like, well, why don't we tell the story if that conversation went wrong? So that's how Source came about.
So when I came in, we already had this solid, hilarious, really kind of natural, nuanced script that had been written by Daniel and Abigail. There wasn't too much for me to do other than just kind of read it well before everything landed. And so we was at Abigail's house the first time, and we got maybe 2-3 rehearsals, maybe?
Yeah, maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, kind of where Daniel kindly let me know that there was another actor who was brilliant in this part before me, and I was like, oh shit, and he was like, no, he was really good, so you got to step it up. Made me bring my A game.
Yeah, it was just hours of regret that I hired Mickey.
But then, I hope you don't mind me saying, had a really natural chemistry with his girlfriend, which he thought
You're a charming guy. Sometimes you just got to admit when.
So we did that, we used that, and we harnessed that, and I think he was very kind and said, if there's any bits you want to change, feel free to. I actually loved the script, so I really wanted to stay true to everything kind of beat by beat. But some things naturally did shift, and he didn't know that. I don't really drive. I had a driver's license, but I've never had a car in my life.
You faked it well.
So we got pretty late in that process. Got to test drive his car and then his mum's car, and it was more like, instead of rehearsing, me practicing driving, which was great. It was good fun.
Yeah.
Made the whole acting part really easy because I was like, fuck, I better not crash,
I want to say for the rehearsal process, I thought that so much of it was, so me and Avi improvised the script that night. Pretty much 85% of what you see on the screen is what we improvised that night. And the rehearsals were a lot to do with getting Mickey and Avi, firstly, really familiar with the script, so it can feel really natural, because it was that authenticity that we were really trying to capture more than anything. letting them have a laugh together, and also just I think the rhythms of the speech, like a lot of things that I mean, Mickey's a natural actor, so emotion-wise, he's there, he gets all that. I think a lot of things we worked on was like literally like how long should a pause be to make like a certain line land, just the rhythms, that what's the most natural feeling rhythm was a lot of the thing that I was trying to think about when we were in that rehearsal room. What do I want audiences to take away?
A Big Mac meal.
Yeah, exactly. It's all just product placement. I'm still waiting for my my check from Mackie.
What happened with McDonald's? They never.
No, I emailed them saying I've got this great short film which we advertised.
They did ruin a lot of takes. It's hard driving into a drive-through with a camera mounted onto the front of your car.
Yeah.
Can I get a Coke? Are you making a film? Oh God, we gotta go again.
Yeah, true. What I want to take away from it, I think, firstly, I just want them to have a good time. I want them to enjoy it and laugh and find it relatable. But I think if we're going to talk about like the themes of it and what it's about, I mean, I want them to take away questions about commitment and what commitment is worth and what it means to commit in the modern day, and just all those feelings of confusion that we have today with all the options and insecurities around dating today. I mean, it's not a didactic film in any way. I mean, I tried to make it in a way which was as non-judgmental as possible about the two really differing views on relationships. So
what's funny is the whole film is one take. So we probably had 8 attempts at making it, 8, 9?
yeah, probably about that, yeah.
At making it a film. And I think the film that we shot at 10 a.m. would have been very different to the one that we shot at 6:30 in the winter when it was getting really dark. So it's hilarious to think about, or what would you like people to take away from that film? Because that film would have been completely different in the morning.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, the reason we got it done at all, in a funny way, we were on our very last take. That's the one that you see. We had no more time. The sunset was kind of happening. We had another driver who was driving the car I was in. I was following behind in another car with headphones, and she had to go. And
it had just rained for about an hour, I think.
And we hadn't got a usable take yet.
I think if you watch the film, you see a couple of raindrops on the windshield.
It blurs your face.
Yeah. Which was fine.
You don't use the windscreen wipers for some reason.
Yeah, because I can't drive. That's why.
But yeah, basically we just got really, really lucky that last take, we got it. And that was the only take that we didn't go through the actual McDonald's drive-through. Every other take we actually went through, because I wanted some almost like pseudo documentary feel to it, where like you're interacting with real people. I was really into that, but they just kept, as Mickey said, like asking questions about it. And then Mickey said, can we just not do that? And I was like, you're completely right. I don't know why I didn't think of that. And then it worked.
Hi, I'm Michael Workea.
And I'm Daniel, and this is Source.
So I'm running